Alright, welcome back to the channel, another video on the Metro. As you saw in the last video, I managed to get it pretty much all in paint by the tailgate and the bonnet. I've still got them left to do. This video, I'll just show you how I've done the front end. I've done a little bit more on the front end, and I'm going to be stone chipping and repainting just under the sills. So I'll get on with that now, I'll show you where I'm up to. Alright, so here's the progress on the front. So I've given the radiator a quick coat of satin black, I've cleaned up the washer bottle and the header tank. They took ages. They both had sludge in from just standing water. I've riveted in the headlights, worked out all my fittings that I need to get the surrounds in. Still need to paint up the slam panel. Started to clean up the front end. I still want to keep the sound deadening, and because it's got little bits of overspray on it, what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to get some black dye. At the minute I've got some stuff washing. I'll just show you that now. Right, so in the shed I've got our old dishwasher, put it on a relatively low setting, and I've got the bumper end caps in there and indicators because they were filthy, and a few of the interior parts. Let's leave that on to finish. So today's job now, I'm going to mask over the car with plastic sheeting, and I'm going to Gravitex, I think it is the stone chip that I've got, that bottom end, and I've got some paint mixed up to do that afterwards once it's dry. Just show you how the paint finishes. It's not been polished yet, it has been cut but not polished, but it is looking nice. It's been done now for a couple of weeks. The roof where it had some work done looks perfect, and then down this side again looking quite good. So as you can see, fully masked off now. I've left the bolts out, the two bolts for the wings. I'll put them in for the top coat. I'll just put a bit of etch primer on them. I've got my stone chip gun. I've set the compressor to around about 75 psi. This says between 40 and 70, so I'm thinking by the time it's come down the line, should be about right on the pressure. I'll adjust my spray pattern on the plastic. The car's completely covered. This is what I'm going to be using. It's the Gravitex Plus, and it's overpaintable, and as I said before, I've already got the paint. I'll be doing that on this episode as well. So I'm going to crack on with this, get a mask on, and we'll get it painted. I've already shut the bottle. I'll quieten down the fan for when I start painting. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me with the mask on, but I'm going to go for getting the right texture that I'm after, and we'll get it on. Alright, so as hopefully you just saw on the video then, I've stone chipped both sills now. I'll just show you the other side as well. See, properly masked off. Made that mistake too many times now. So, stone chipped all the way down. Just needs a coat of the matching grey paint to the bumpers, which I've got. In fact, I'll dig that out now. Right, so this is the paint I've had mixed. It's Nimbus Grey. I've had it done, I've only had a litre. I had it done in cellulose when I was painting the car cellulose, but the Gravitex is 1K, so I think that's cellulose base anyway. So I'm just going to go straight over the top with 50-50 thinners and just lightly coat that. So I'm hoping that should be fine. So I'll come back in when we're on that. Alright, so it's now next day and I've got quite a nice finish. Obviously you saw where I taped it up to. So I'm ready to mix some paint to get that done. I can't remember if I put the bolts in, but I've got the bolts in, etch prime them. Just take it onto the side. Same on this side, no repairs to this sill. Just scraping off the stone chip. And again, etch prime the bolts. I took the bits out the dishwasher last night and they've dried overnight, come out nicely. Just want a scrub with like one of the magic eraser sponges I've got. The bumpers, the bumper end caps rather, are a little bit knackered, so what I'm going to do with them is flat them off with a DA. Don't know if that'll be today or not. Get them flatted off with a DA, and I've got some textured bumper paint to go on them. Try and give it that texture back, and then I'll paint them along with the bumpers. So I'm going to get the base coat mix now for these, and I'll get that painted. Right, so I've just mixed up the grey paint, and I'll just show you next to the bumper. The colour's spot on. It's just got a little bit of a film over it. If I stir it up, I'll show you there. So the colour's just right, so I'll be respraying front and back bumpers. I'm going to end up having to do them caps as well, or that cap and the end caps. So I'll get this in the gun. I spent a little bit of time last night just cleaning up my mini spray gun, because there's no point in using the big one for doing a job like that. So I'll get that in the gun and I'll start painting. Alright, so I've got 3 coats of the grey paint on now. Obviously just need that to dry. That's on both sides. Just as a thing, just had a bit of paint left in the gun. I didn't primer it up or anything, but I just threw a quick cut. Let me just turn this fan off, sorry. I throw a little bit on the bumper just to see the colour, and as you can see it's pretty much bang on. I didn't get it in gloss finish because obviously it's not gloss to begin with, so it's like a satin finish. So I'm still deliberating over, I'm definitely doing the end caps. I don't know if to do the headlight surrounds because the driver's side is slightly discoloured, as you can see through there. So I'm thinking of plastic primer, and I think I'm going to end up spraying them and possibly the grille just to match, and then all the colours and maybe even the wing mirrors. Let me know what you think. Should I do it or not? I'll show you once the wrapping's off. Right, so it's now been going off for a little bit of time, probably 45 minutes to an hour. So I'm going to unmask it and you can have a look with me how the lines ended up. I'm only going to peel back the masking up here because there may still be a little bit of overspray floating around the garage. Still bits of dust in the paint. Just want to get this off, just in case it decides to start rippling my paintwork. In the hopes that the line cut works out nicely. Still need to clean off some bits. I've not polished down there well enough yet either, but you can see the line's looking spot on and the colour match is perfect as well. Just give the bumper a little bit of a clean and you can just see here, in fact no, there, where the transition between the old and the new paint is. So I'm made up with that colour. I'll show you the light surrounds at the front, and I think after seeing that I'm going to be painting the light surrounds, but let me show you. Do you agree with me respraying these surrounds? So scotch them up, plastic primer, and then a couple of coats of that paint I've just shown you that I've done both the sides with and that bumper area, because that's no good, that it doesn't look very tidy. And then if I just show you this wing mirror as well, which obviously is supposed to be in the same grey, the base plate is just a bit tatty. Now that's got a texture on, but I've got in my stock somewhere, just found it there, a kind of textured coating for spot repairs of plastic parts. That's clear, so it'll just give me basically a plastic prime and a base. In fact, I won't need a plastic prime. I will for the headlights, because that's a textured coat and the headlights aren't textured, but the mirror is, and so are the bumper end caps. But I'm pleased with how this is looking. That'll definitely do me. It looks nice and neat. Just been cleaning up all the arms and everything of any overspray or anything after doing all the work, and took the drums off. I did want to blow it out, but I'm not going to bother till I'm outside, because these are going to contain asbestos, but they're the original brakes and they're literally like brand new. It's unbelievable. Still even got the paint when it was checked. Right, so that's the end of the video and part 30 of the Metro restoration. I'd like to know your opinions on my plans for these headlight surrounds, repainting them, and the mirror. Do you think I'm doing the right thing? Am I going to regret it? I'd like to buy new, but you just can't get hold of them, and from the looks of it, that paint colour is going to be absolutely perfect. Anyway, I'm going to crack on with a few more bits and pieces, but that'll be on the next video, and I'll see you on the next one.